The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. So, on today's episode of What the Hell is Wrong with Fandom? Okay, so one thing I like to do in my free time is just go through and look at fan art, and I always tend to regret it because you're always gonna have that 10% of people that make fan art that do just nasty ass shit. But I was looking through GabeNet fan art, don't ask why. Because I just was in the mood, I wanted to see something cute. Some of it was NSFW, I didn't mind that. But in a lot of this art I saw, Natalie had some big old titties, and last time I checked, she don't look like that in canon. But then this shit right here reminded me of something that happened years ago. If you guys are familiar with Big Hero 6, Big Hero 6 is my everything. Anybody that knows me knows I love me some Big Hero 6. But y'all know people are nasty and they ruin everything. People, y'all know the auntie from Big Hero 6. A lot of people tend to have this big fat ass crush on her. She's very pretty, I understand. But so much of the fan art that was made for her was just very much over sexualized. And I don't care that people lewd her because she's an adult. But one thing I noticed in so much of these drawings is that her boobs are not that big. And then the last woman that I would like to bring attention to when it comes to the subject of fan art, where I see this problem all the fucking time, is with Yor Forger from Spy Family. We all love Yor. You're a bitter ass bitch if you don't like Yor, okay? We love her, we stan her. She's waifu, she's honestly a MILF if we're going to be more specific. But Yor already has big boobs. Why do y'all make her go from a double D that she already is up to an H? Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You were not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? Bring your ear closer to the fucking speaker so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Now, while today we are going to be talking about the subject of boobs, please understand that we are talking about boobs from an educational point of view. We are not talking about boobs in a sexual manner. If we are talking about boobs in a sexual manner, we're talking about how people over-sexualize the hell out of these body parts. We are not going to be sitting here and talking about, oh, this person has nice boobs. No, we're not doing that. We're talking about this from an educational standpoint because a lot of y'all are very uneducated on this subject, and I think I need to do my part. A lot of you guys have brought to my attention that you have learned so much from me, and thank you. I very much appreciate it, and I get this from like people of all ages. But when I learned that a lot of people really just don't understand boobs, we need to talk. We need to have a little talk. I hope this video, shut up phone. I hope at the end of this video you guys will understand why you shouldn't really over-sexualize big boobs. But also, I can't tell nobody what to do. I don't tell nobody what to say. But so much of the issues that come down with the female body just have to do with the male gaze. Are we surprised? No. But before we get started, I do want to just talk to you guys about my do-rag. Y'all see this do-rag? Y'all see how it matched my Alia bonnet? This is the Alia do-rag. I have this and numerous other do-rags that are coming to my store at harriyannahook.com this Black Friday weekend. Not this Black Friday, but you know Black Friday is coming soon. And I have so many other cute products that I have coming soon. So you guys want to stay up to date about new item product releases and everything that goes on with me and my channel and my brand, please follow my business Instagram at harriyannahook. And then if you guys want to just keep up with me, because I post a lot of my business stuff through my personal page. Follow at Harriyanna. On my personal page, I do more, you know, stuff that's more like personal. I do more cosplays and stuff like that over there. But my business stuff really is like stuff from my blog, my store, and my writing and all of that jazz. So make sure you guys are following both Instagrams. All right, let's continue. Now, before we begin, I do want to just make it clear that we will be talking about this from a very gender neutral perspective, because I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. Get your turf ass out the comment section if you're already here. Try to leave that comment. But women are not the only people that have boobs. They are not. No. But we will be talking about the anatomy of the female body. And that is the only thing that I will be saying. I will be saying the female body when you're referring to anatomy. But overall, we're just talking about people that have boobs. Now, there are so many problems with fandom. Are we surprised? No. But fandom is a place where a lot of people just go to escape the realities of the world. And so much of what is in fandom is a really big reflection of the problems that we have within the world, because there are so many issues with fan art. I already have a video posted about when it comes to colorism in fan art, as with a lot of fan art for cartoons and celebrities and just public figures in general, people tend to draw them a few shades lighter than what they actually are, which is colorism. And it's sad because I see colorism often happens a lot of times with characters that are, you know, light skin or brown skin. Like, you know, they're tan, they're not white, but they're on like the lighter side of dark. Because I noticed this was a big issue with Marcy from Amphibia, and like Marcy not even that dark, and y'all couldn't even get her skin color correctly. So I've already talked about the issue with colorism with fan art. I have a video planned about fat phobia with fan art. It's basically on my Patreon right now. If you guys want to go ahead and see it when I'm ready to release it. It's just, y'all have been so nasty about the subject of fat phobia on the internet, and that is why I have yet to release that video. But if you guys want to go ahead and see it, it is on my Patreon, and I will post that when I am ready, and it most likely will not be for a while. And then you have other issues that relate to texturism and featureism with fan art, where people don't want to draw big noses and people don't want to draw braids or curly hair or anything like that. And then another major issue that comes with fan art would have to be the over-sexualization of the anatomy of the female body. This right here is something that's always been a bit bothersome to me since I was a little girl. When I discovered fan art on the internet, most likely should not have been seeing it. But one thing that always kind of raised my eyebrows is that I always would see fan art of female characters that had gigantic boobs, and I was just like, I don't think I remember that character looking like that in canon, but I just kind of brushed it off because I was just like, no, that's fan art. But then another thing, I thought back to the entire issue with fat phobia with fan art, and then I thought about the issues with colorism, featureism, and texturism in fan art, is that people tend to fix, air quote, things about these fictional characters in cartoons and celebrities and all that. They tend to fix these things that they find to be conventionally unattractive. Things that don't fit Eurocentric beauty standards, or things that are just seen as ugly. And there is nothing ugly about a lot of this shit that is perceived to be as ugly. There's nothing ugly about having a big nose. There's nothing ugly about having darker skin. There's nothing ugly about having kinky and curly hair. There's nothing ugly about having locks. There's nothing ugly about having braids, and there most definitely is nothing ugly about being fat, and most certainly there is nothing ugly about having small boobs. It's just like a lot of ignorance that's just running around, and simply a lot of people just don't realize that they're wrong. And then, you know, you do have those people that do realize that they're wrong, and they're like, well, this is just my fantasy world where everyone has big boobs. And I'm just like, what? No, I'm telling y'all, I have seen some of the most trash takes that have come from fandom, because I remember someone had said something about there's no black people in my fantasy world because that's how I think a better world would be. And I was just like, y'all are just openly bigoted. But throughout the years, I have seen lots and lots and lots of fan art, and as somebody that is very much small chested, it did have me feel some kind of way, because I'm just like, why don't I have big old boobies like her? If I don't have big boobies like this person does that mean that I'm not attractive? Does that mean that I am not beautiful? What the fuck is going on? That's just the entire weird thing that comes with fan art, is because so many people project so much of their insecurities in the art that they are making. Either one, a lot of people are just being fucking nasty, but two, a lot of people draw in their fan art what they don't like about themselves. Like, oh my gosh, this person is dark skinned and they ended up drawing whitewash fan art because of that. This person is fat and because of that they draw extremely thin characters. This person doesn't have a small waistline, so they give this person a very tiny one, so, and it looks very unproportional. Y'all, we gonna have to start talking about proportions with body sizes with fan art, because I don't like that this character has a big nose like I do, so I'm gonna go in and fix it. That is just so many of the issues that we have with fan art regardless, that so many people just don't like things about themselves and they go in and change that, and it's actually very much sad. While you do have people on one hand that change these factors about these characters because they view them to be ugly, a lot of these people view them to be ugly because they see themselves within them. And one major thing that I notice when it comes to the subject of boobs with fan art is that it's a lot of fuckery. Let's just say that. One, you have the people that don't have big boobs. Like, I'd say me, for example. I know I'm pretty much flat chested. I'm an A cup. I have no shame. All right. Ain't nobody fucking hating. Okay. So then you have people like that, and that is something that I always was very much insecure about, but I am learning to grow and love my own body. You have those kinds of people where they are insecure about having little boobies, and then they draw characters like that. But then also you have those people that only see boobs that are enormously large to be attractive. In the early 2000s, I think a lot of us are pretty aware of this, but getting a boob job was a big thing for a lot of celebrities, and that was the look back then, to be extremely thin and to have a large chest. Everybody was shaped like a pea, let's just say that. And then, you know, when we come on the subject of the word that rhymes with corn, yeah, a lot of the people that are in those, they have big boobs. So we're constantly being fed by the media that boobs that are big are the ones that are seen as attractive and beautiful, and that is what leads into this issue of them being extremely over sexualized. Because I remember I was watching P-Valley, and Autumn basically has smaller boobies, and they were talking about how they needed to get her breast implants. And I noticed that a lot of strippers do tend to have breast implants because they know that that is what the male customers that come into the strip clubs like, and those are the kind of women that tend to get the most money. And I have watched a lot of videos about, like, you know, what it is like to actually work in a club, specifically a strip club and whatnot, and a lot of the strippers will straight up tell you that a lot of the men, like, that's the thing, a lot of men find things differently, but so many of the men that find women to be attractive are usually the ones that have the big boobs and the tiny waistline and the big titties. That is why so many strippers do get work done, because they know that it will deeply increase their pay rate. It is actually so fucking sad that so much of plastic surgery that people with boobs get is simply for the sake of, like, you know, fitting the male gaze. And the male gaze basically is what is keeping the stripper club industry on top. It's literally what's keeping the strippers employed, because men tend to over sexualize everything about the female body, and that is why we have so many issues with the subject of big boobs just being over sexualized. A lot of people that have big old titties will tell you that those things are not all that cracked up to be. The over-sexualization of the female body is another major aspect to the discomfort that shows how many women feel about their own bodies. Women in almost every industry can recall unwanted commentary or attention that they received in their work environment because of the sexualization of their bodies. Personally, I have experienced it in nearly every form of work I have done to date, starting when I was 15 as a lifeguard to now I am 21 in bartending. Statistics show that as high as 81% of women have experienced some form of sexual harassment in the workplace. Additionally, countless events go unreported. Thankfully, though, as a decrease in number because of movements that push women to speak out and try to create systems to help them do so. For far too long breasts are an object of sexualization, with the relevant factor of size playing too big for a role in this. The size of a woman's chest has been a long time point of objectification. It is a long-standing stereotype that the size of a woman's chest determines her attractiveness, femininity, or sexuality. Big boobs or small boobs that have no effect on how easy a woman is, and it definitely should not affect how beautiful they are, or more importantly, how they feel about themselves. I have also received a lot of bad attention from males who think being open about my body gives them permission to send me unsolicited pictures of themselves, which it doesn't, which it never does. I have been told that if I don't want to receive pictures like this, attention like this, I shouldn't upload pictures of myself and I shouldn't talk about big boobs. Today's society has become so consumed by sex because we all know that's what sells. But as soon as someone starts talking about what big boobs are really for, men shy away and get grossed out. They like the fantasy and looks of big boobs, but they don't like the reality of stretch marks, of breastfeeding, of back pain, and they don't know anything about it. I recently got asked if my boobs are still growing, and when I elaborated on the reason why breasts change in size, pregnancy, periods, weight loss or gain, and breast cancer, I told that I was giving the guy too much information that he didn't want to know. I have also been asked many times why I'm so obsessed with big boobs, when half of the Earth's population is. Us women know 10 times more about boobs than men do, so why wouldn't we talk about them in the way they deserve to be talked about? It's time to wake up and serve some real #titty talk about stretch marks, back pain, boob sweat, bad posture, period and pregnancy boobs, insecurity, breast cancer awareness, bra fitting, and everything else. Like, I remember there was this one show that I used to watch on Lifetime called Double Divas, and they were talking about how so many people would come into their store needing to get custom bras because their boobs were just too big for the ones that they just sold at Walmart and Target and all of that shit. Those people desperately needed help. And when it comes to the subject of having big boobs, it's not cute. I have numerous friends that have big boobs. My family members have big boobs, and they will all tell me one thing, saying this shit hurts. So one thing that a lot of people with big boobs do is that they oftentimes go through with having a breast reduction. Breast reduction surgery, also known as reduction mammoplasty, remove fat, breast tissue, and skin from the breast. For those with large breasts, breast reduction surgery can ease discomfort and improve appearance. Breast reduction surgery might also help improve self-image and the ability to take part in physical activities. Why it's done. Breast reduction surgery is meant for people who have large breasts that cause the following: chronic back, neck, and shoulder pain, shoulder grooves from bra straps, chronic rash or skin irritation of the breast, nerve pain, not being able to take part in some activities, poor self-image due to large breasts, trouble fitting into bras and clothing. Now, when it comes to breast reductions, I have known people that I went to high school with that have gotten them simply because them having big boobs was just too much for them to handle. But not everyone can afford to get a breast reduction. Not everybody has the funding. Not everyone has the surgery in order to fix that one thing that is hurting them so much. And like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having big boobs. You simply can't help it. That is just something that you cannot control. And that is one thing that pisses me off with a lot of people, where people are like, y'all need to stop talking shit about things with people with things that they cannot fix. And somebody was like, no, a lot of this shit that is wrong with y'all, air quote wrong with y'all, because there's nothing wrong with you. A lot of the shit that people tend to think that is something wrong with someone, they're like, no, you can go and get it fixed. And I'm like, no. If it's something that is completely out of my control, there's no problem with it. I'll take my gap tooth for example. I have gap teeth, I've always have, and I don't give a fuck. This is something about myself that I have always loved, and nobody will ever convince me that it's ugly. I get numerous comments on the daily of people telling me that I need to go get my teeth fixed. But last time I went to the dentist, they said my teeth were fine. They were like, yeah, you got a gap, but like, that's it. Your teeth are fine. You're healthy. You don't have any cavities. You don't need any crowns or anything. Your teeth are fine. It's just because society tends to view this one thing about myself as ugly, people tend to say that I need to go and get it fixed. Like, that is so fucking nasty of y'all, because I noticed a lot of time when it comes to the subject of boobs, people will tell people that have smaller chests that they need to go get implants or whatever. And then you'll have people that do have big boobs, and people, let me tell y'all something, y'all don't seem to understand that just because somebody has big boobs does not mean they're gonna look all big and bubbly like a balloon on their chest. A lot of people that have big boobs, you know, boobs sag. That is natural. That is a part of the human body. Things are gonna sag on you. There's nothing wrong with that at all. People tend to think that how the body actually works and functions is not going to apply to that. There are so many pros and cons that come along with the way your body looks. I'm gonna go here and sit here and tell y'all, a lot of big butts, big thighs come along with that, baby. Okay? A lot of big butts come along with having a little gut on that stomach, okay? Along with big boobs just as well. And the saddest thing about this is that when we get on the subject of people changing things about them subjects, people are so fucking weird, because y'all are all for plastic surgery talking about, yeah, if you don't like this one thing about yourself, go and change it. Go lighten your skin. Don't do that. Stay away from skin bleaching, okay? We don't do this shit over here. They be like, and you don't like your skin, go ahead and make yourself lighter. If you don't like how big your nose is, go ahead and make it smaller. You don't like having little lips, go ahead and make them bigger. You have a gut on your stomach, go ahead and get liposuction. You want a fatter ass, go get that fat ass, okay? Don't get a BBL, y'all. There's a lot of studies out here that show how dangerous the things are. I'm trying to help y'all. If you have one, great, go ahead, but like, please do your research on these things before you go through with these surgeries. And one thing that happens when it comes to boobs is that people are like, yes, go bigger, the bigger the better. And no, that is not always the case, because like I said, a lot of people that have naturally big boobs will tell you that they are not all that cracked up to be. And mind you, that there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to get breast implants. I completely understand. I completely get it, because like I said, I am a woman with little boobies, a fucking A cup, and I have thought about it before, but it's just something that I'm not interested in, because I realized that the reason I wanted to get implants is because I thought that would make me more attractive. And yeah, it's a whole nine. I have come so far with my development as a person. But one thing that kind of bugs me is that when y'all tell people to change these things about themselves that they don't like, when it comes to the subject of people getting a breast reduction, y'all are quick to say, no, don't do that. Why are you trying to change that one thing about yourself? And I'm like, if you actually understood anatomy and how the body works, boobs are painful, okay? I am somebody with little boobies. They hurt a lot, okay? Especially when it gets close to me having my period. Imagine how that would feel with somebody with a much larger chest. And I know a lot of y'all watching this video got big boobs. I know you completely understand it, but I have had numerous my friends, my family members tell me, yeah, it's not that great. It's not that cracked up to be. A lot of my bras don't fit correctly, but I just kind of have to deal with it, because if I don't wear one, they're just gonna sag and hurt even more. They have a hard time sleeping. It hurts when they turn over sometimes. Like, having big boobs, it's not sexy, okay? And it's just sad that the people that cannot afford to get a breast reduction, they just kind of have to sit there and live with it, because the option is there for them to, you know, get it. But because a lot of people don't have insurance, a lot of people don't have a job that will be able to pay them, or they'll be having to take normal loans out in order for them to just simply get through the day, it's hard. Like, it's just sad. Like, they just have to sit here and deal with it. And my sympathy goes out to y'all, because I'm like, I'm struggling with my little boobies over here. I cannot even imagine how you guys are feeling. Overall, I feel like a lot of us just kind of need to be a little bit more well educated when it comes to the certain things we do, because I know when it comes to the subject of NSFW art and content and everything like that, big boobs is one of the things that's extremely over sexualized. But I think it's because a lot of people don't tend to understand what comes along with having big titties, because it's not sexy. But that's pretty much all I gotta say for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video was not planned, but I saw that picture of Natalie and I was just like, y'all know damn well she don't look like that. She don't look like that. And then also that picture of Yor. And then people started having the uncast situation thing brought back up from Big Hero 6, and I was just like, yeah, y'all need to get educated on the subject of tatas. You guys want to know where you can support me? Just to follow and everything. I have Patreon. Helps deeply a lot, and you also get first looks at all the videos that I create and all of that jazz. You get behind the scenes look, you get year-round discounts for my shop at harriyannahook.com. Black Friday coming up. Make sure you mark your calendars on Thanksgiving night. Let me make sure I check the actual date so we know what day Black Friday is, but basically it's gonna start at, you know, the night of Thanksgiving here in America. It's not loading. Fuck this shit. The internet has been trash lately because Tropical Storm Nicole has just been blowing my shit. But follow me on Instagram to stay up to date with everything. I'm on Tumblr, by the way, because I know a lot of you guys have been migrating to Tumblr. All my socials are in the link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and have a good night.
Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their ruts. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before